So I'm here with Eric Barnett. Eric, how are we doing today?
Doing good. Doing good.
Nice. What have you been up during the quarantine so far?
Just find out where I can get workouts in, playing games, and just hanging out with the family and the girlfriend.
Nice. I saw you and your girlfriend were doing some horseback riding. Is that
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep, she's into it. She has horses at her mom's house, so I've been figuring out how to ride them, and it's pretty fun.
Have you ridden a horse before, like hanging out with her?
Not on my own, no. With my
Nice.
uncle, like back in North Dakota, but beside that, no.
Nice, nice. Um, so you've been able to wrestle a little bit throughout this time?
Yeah, a couple times just finding places and stuff, and then just doing like private sessions, helping out some of my Hortonville kids, and
Nice.
just haven't been wrestling too much, so.
Yeah. Seems like that's how it is for pretty much everyone right now. It's tough to
Mm-hmm.
find a room that you can get into and stuff.
Exactly.
So from the beginning, I guess, how did you originally get into wrestling?
So started my oldest brother. So I got two older brothers. So my oldest brother brought home a flyer from his like elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
and it was for wrestling. And then he's like, "Okay, I want to try it out." And then so both my brothers went up and to Hortonville High School, started wrestling. And I just kind of watched on the side. And I was like, "Holy cow, that looks cool! Like I want to try it." And then ever since the chance I got to, once I turned 4, like they let us in for pre-K. And I started wrestling ever since then.
Nice. I know you have older brother Jacob, and I think he
Hmm.
wrestles at Oshkosh right now.
No, he didn't end up going there. He hasn't. He didn't go to
Okay.
college wrestling or anything. He was going to, and then decided not to. And
He took it pretty seriously though, and did decently well in high school at state
yeah.
and stuff. And he's like 3 years older than you. Is that right?
2 years. Yeah.
2 years. How old is your brother older than him?
He's 4 years older than me.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So then from there, I guess like, did you see a lot of success right away?
No, I mean, I guess when I actually started like winning matches and stuff, like it was
Mm-hmm.
probably like second grade, just going like local tournaments, and I like win a tournament here, take second. I only did like handful of tournaments, and then but I just like doing it and like competing. And then I was always big in other sports too, so like I always played football and baseball, and then always tried out like gymnastics and stuff like that, cross country.
Mm-hmm.
But with wrestling, like yeah, I don't think I actually was winning until like third grade. I went to state, took second place, and then ever since then I was like full wrestling
Nice.
basically.
Awesome. Um, what other sport did you take the most seriously growing up besides wrestling?
Yeah, probably baseball. I loved
Okay.
baseball. Watched it 24/7 whenever I could. Was always
Nice.
on like sports centers watching like the replays the next morning, and I
Yeah.
love baseball. I used to play it all the time until like I think I quit in like after fifth grade.
Just
Then it was
focus on
just
wrestling.
yeah, yeah,
Nice.
all wrestling after that.
So you said you took second at state early on, and that was kind of
Hmm.
a changing point. What were like some of those other like first big successes like before middle school, I guess?
Um,
Like your biggest tournament wins.
I
I know you
mean,
had a lot of them.
yeah. Trying to think like probably most pivotal was probably like if I would say fourth grade, taking third at state, and I
Mm-hmm.
like thought I worked my butt off, like should win state fourth grade after I took second and third grade, just like that young mind, like I should.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, fourth grade took third, and then I think that was probably the most pivotal moment for me was like realizing what it really takes, like to be able to
Yeah.
win, and like how much work I need to put in, like even more than I already was, and that was probably the pivotal point in my wrestling career.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like that's kind of how you evolve in wrestling. Like, you work your butt off for something, don't get it, and then realize that you could have worked harder. Or even if you do
Mm-hmm.
get it, I feel like you probably realize you could have gotten a major attack or whatever.
Exactly. Exactly.
But, yeah. And then, so I remember, like, the first time I met you, for those that don't know, like, we went to a club called Aviators for, like, a year when we overlapped, and some kid came up to me. I think it was like Alex Jarrett, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"You see that little kid over there? And I was like, yeah, because you were probably like 80 or 90 pounds at the time. He's like, that dude has
Mhm.
like 5 or 6 like national titles. And I was like, well, we'll see, because they're youth national titles, and it's
Mhm.
pretty cool to see it come full circle. But I think a lot of people, um, not like everyone, but a lot of people that have a lot of success early on end up burning out. And
Mhm.
I guess, like, how did you stay motivated and continue to have success like at the high school and college level?
Yeah, I agree 100% that a lot of those guys that see success early on, they just kind of coast.
Mm-hmm.
I think my role, like wrestling at World Gold up in Stevens Point as well with Dennis Hall, I think he probably helped me to not coast. He was always like pushing, like talking about the next level, um, and then having partners that push me. I was always looking for partners that were always a little bit bigger than me to push me and a little bit older too, and just like kind of see if I can hang with that guy instead of like beating up on these guys. Like it was just my competitiveness, and I think well, it would be like sixth grade to like junior year, I ran cross country, and I think that helped with it. Was that like competition? Is like I know like I definitely specialized in wrestling, but there was like another aspect of competition that I was always looking forward to,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of helped. And I was never really that good at cross country, but it was just like fun to compete, and like
Yeah.
I think that's part of it is you need to like expand the horizon, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes like you get when you're at like a high level in a sport, you forget like what it is just to like what it means to just compete. So
Mm-hmm.
I did that my senior year. I did cross country and I was terrible, but like it just you remember like what just like trying to win is all about, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So but then going forward, your freshman year you were like 47 or 48 and 3. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. 47-3, yeah.
Okay. And then I guess, like, what was the end of the season like for you? I know you took third at state, but.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I'll start from the point after sectionals. So I won sectionals,
Mm-hmm.
and then a couple hours later, the brackets come out, and I already knew who was kind of the guys that were in front of me and who I'd have to beat. And then the brackets came out, and I was like, okay, like definitely have the hard side of the bracket. It's gonna be a grind getting through. And, like my first round match, kid ended up taking fifth, and then semis I wrestled the eventual champ, and then Conti semis I wrestled the kid that took sixth, and then obviously third place match was fourth. So I was wrestling for the sixth placers, and I mean that was it was tough. It was a tough tournament for just a young kid. Um, I wasn't really used to those like grueling brackets where I'd have to beat a guy and beat a guy and beat a guy, and um, yeah, but then so it was nice having a couple teammates down there. That was the first year Hortonville made it to team state, and I think that kind of like eased it up a little bit and made it a little bit more like I'd say like friendly, like
Mm-hmm.
more people like lean back on when I'm getting nervous and just like mess around and whatever. But yeah, I mean, I ended up taking third, and I think that pushed me big time for the next year and the next 3 years. Just like learning the atmosphere and everything like that.
Like, I'm sure you were content because that's still like a really good season, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I just know you and know that you're super competitive. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
did it leave you like with a new fire kind of lit, I guess, after
Yeah,
the season?
yeah, definitely. Like, well, even so, what team states 5, 6 days after individual state, and that
Mm-hmm.
like I only got one match down there. Team lost the first duel, but like even that like went out there like just trying to like prove a point. Just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know I didn't get the goal last week, but I'm just trying to prove a point out here, and
Mm-hmm.
just. But it definitely lit a fire under me. Like I remember just like joking around, like, yeah, I'm gonna throw away my third place medal because at this point, like for the future of my career, this won't mean anything to me. That was kind of the goal: make the third place like not mean anything to me.
Yeah. Okay. Do you still have the medal though?
Yeah, I do. My
Okay.
mom would rip my head off if I threw it away.
Yeah. That's what I thought. All right. But then going forward next year, you have an undefeated season and then win the
Mhm.
state title. I guess like what was it like going into the finals? Like how did you feel going into them? I guess.
I think I felt really good going into state my sophomore year. I kind of knew again like who I was gonna have, and basically panned out exactly how I had planned.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was cutting a bit of weight, but I like felt good for the weight. Felt big and strong, and you know my finals match was a bit closer than I would have liked it to be. I was handling, but against Hunter Lewis, and he was a tough kid, and
Mm-hmm.
got the job done. But no, I don't think I like let the undefeated record get to my head or anything like that. I think a lot of guys do
Mm-hmm.
going into state. They're like, okay, I'm undefeated, should win. Like there's 4 matches down there that you got to win, and that's it.
Yeah. And then I guess after you got it done, how good did it feel to get that first state title monkey off your back?
Yeah, that felt really good. That felt really good too because I remember it was one of the first days I was leaving school after individual state my freshman year, and somebody said, "Are you gonna get 3 or are you gonna lose again?" Like probably joking around, but I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, dude, come on now." Like, yeah, obviously I'm gonna get 3. Like that's the goal. And then, I think I always thought about that. And, like obviously I still remember that exact moment. Like somebody saying, "Are you gonna lose again?" Like, no. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
prove you wrong. I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. Like that's kind of my mentality going into
Yeah, that'll put quite the chip on your shoulder.
it. Yeah.
That's awesome. But and then what were just like one more question about that state title? What were like those last 5 seconds? Like what was going through your head of that match?
Well, yeah, that one was a wild finish. So I was up 5-4 with I had a stall call, so I had to stay in there. And against an upper body guy, he was ended up making a Greco World team. So I got headlocked. So like as he like locks the head and arm, I like grab the body and I'm like, okay, like quick split decision. Like, do I fight it for 5 seconds and see if I can hold him off, or do
Mm-hmm.
I go for it and roll through and see if I can just hold him off there? So I
Yeah.
rolled through, grabbed the body, rolled through, and took him down off it. And then a lot of it was like just like adrenaline, emotion just going on.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, and the me and the kid don't get along the best, but he went to hug me and I just kind of pushed him away, and just kind of celebrating my win.
Yeah.
But it was probably the first time I've had like pure emotion like through something, and it was just probably the best feeling I've ever had.
That's awesome. That is sweet. And then I mean your junior year you do it again. And then your
Hmm.
senior year you do it again. I guess
Hmm.
what was it like after your senior year just like knowing what you accomplished?
It was pretty cool. Especially like with junior and senior year to like keep doing what I was doing. I kept setting goals like I'm not going to get taken down this year and stuff like that, or I want to be ranked this in the country, whatever. Like it was always number one was the goal. Um, but looking back, I was like, okay, that's something not a lot of people have done. Like my goal was always to cement myself as one of the best Wisconsin wrestlers of all time, like high school wise, and especially like further on, hopefully, um,
Mm-hmm.
have a successful college career and kind of just cement myself in the the debate for it. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Like looking back and seeing like, okay, you had this many wins and you broke somebody's record for takedowns. Yeah, yeah, it was pretty cool looking back.
Yeah. I'm sure like I guess I kind of brushed over your junior and senior year because like once you get a state title, um, I guess like is it hard to stay present for each match like going forward and not just think about
Um,
like two timer or three timer?
yeah, I definitely say for my junior year is harder to stay focused. I guess not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily like with wrestling stay focused, but stay focused on like getting better every single day. I
Mm-hmm.
think there were days where I would be like, okay, I won state last year. Like these guys have to catch up to me, and I don't need to put in the work. And then um, I had a 3-1 match at sectionals, And then at that point, I was like, okay, like I'm that was kind of like the point where I was like, okay, yeah, I can't do that anymore. And that I think that helped my senior year, wrestling in my off season, junior year wrestling, going to Fargo and everything. It's just like, do not coast. Like you're trying to catch somebody else. Like you're trying to catch Spencer Lee. You're not having kids try and catch you type thing.
Yeah. Um, one more question about like just high school in general. I guess when did you make like the biggest jumps? Like what camps or training periods were there?
Um, I'd probably say from the point after my junior year, like season. So like end of February till Fargo probably made the biggest jump. I think
Mm-hmm.
I was a little unimpressed with myself over my like state performance. Like I won, but like there were kids I was wrestling where I didn't score nearly enough points as I should have, and I think that kind of motivated me. And like first day back after state, I was like in the weight room, like focusing, getting bigger and better, and wrestling. And I think that point was probably um, my biggest growth. And I think wrestling like in Wisconsin team camps and stuff like that, and like they would bring like McDonough was there and just working with him. I definitely made like a lot of leaps through that time.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And then so I guess like going into your freshman year of college, um, what was like? Did you get there in the summer?
Yep, I got there. I was like 10 days after I graduated.
Like what were those first practices like?
Oh, they were tough. It was tough being in that room, like just like the high caliber of guys, like getting written out like for minutes on minutes. Like it was obviously like something new, and like it was tough getting used to it. But no, it was fun like going through that too, because you hear stories about like, oh, this guy was number one in the country in high school and beating everybody, and he got into the college room and couldn't
Mm-hmm.
score. Like it's fun to like kind of live that through, even though it sucks at the time. Kind of looking back on like my last summer, like I was like, okay, like I figured stuff out. Like yeah, it sucked, but you learned a lot. And
Yeah. Um, I know like kind of everyone will tell you when you're a high school senior about how hard college is gonna be,
mm-hmm.
and like, was it still harder than you thought it would be going into it?
um, I think the hardest thing about me adjusting to college was just the schedule. I don't know if like
Mm-hmm.
the wrestling was necessarily as hard as like I or harder than I thought it would be. Like I kind of, especially with like Seth Rose coming to the room, I was like, okay, I kind of know what I'm dealing with there, and like
Okay, that's fair.
yeah. But then like with like schedule, like that definitely people were, I definitely thought you had more free time than you really do, and it's like
Yeah.
yeah, you don't have free time. You're leaving the dorm at 5 in the morning and you're getting back at 8 at night. That's kind of how my days would go. And
So like during the school year, were the toughest parts just like time management of
yeah,
everything?
yep. I would say time management, especially my fall semesters, getting used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Time management was a big part. Like we have 8 study hall hours a week that we have to go to, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you take into your classes and your practice, and then you have to do them between like basically 7 a.m. and before practice, which is at 3 p.m. So you have that slot with all your classes and your meetings and everything. Yeah, it can get
Nice.
pretty tiring, but it's all right.
How would you describe Coach Bono?
Intense.
Yeah.
But he loves that fun. He definitely loves that fun. Like when it's not a time to be serious, and like on bus rides or like before practice, he's always telling jokes and stuff. Just a fun guy too. Like he definitely can flip a switch. Um, but yeah, love the guy.
Yeah, he seems like super motivational, but then also I've seen like videos of him dancing and stuff, and it's pretty
Mm-hmm.
funny. So
Yeah, yeah,
looks like a lot of fun to be around.
yeah, for sure.
Um, what was the team chemistry like this year?
Um, I think we were tighter than a lot of people think. Like you look at a team that was getting Seth Gross first year there, Johnny Sebastian first year there, Taylor Watkins first year there, Tristan Moran first year there, and then you have 7 freshmen coming in. It's like, okay, well, how's that team gonna, bond together? And I think from the get go, we were always hanging out. Like we'd have team get-togethers and stuff, like Thanksgiving, Christmas. Like we were always hanging out and stuff like that. Like I think I think we bonded together really well for a team of, let's say, like misfits, I guess, like
Yeah.
guys that like typically under different circumstances probably would have never met even, but you know, wrestling and the team brought us together, and yeah, I think we fit pretty well with each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like there's like an abundance of personalities on that team, but it just seemed
Mm-hmm.
to work. So
Yeah, absolutely.
you guys did pretty well during duels in the regular season this year, so it was
Mm-hmm.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
Um, I guess, what kind of advice would you have for like incoming freshmen that are gonna be wrestling next year at college?
Probably pick your seniors that you want to look after.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely like looked after Gross and Sebastian and Martin. Kind of just seeing how they manage their time, what they do, what they eat, um, and how you treat people too. They treated people with respect and they wanted to help people 24/7, and that comes with the maturity of being in college for 5 and 6 years. And I looked up to them big time. So I guess my one piece of advice would be to find your seniors that have been through the gauntlet and figuring out what they do and kind of try and reciprocate what they're doing.
You mentioned nutrition. I guess like how did your nutrition change from like high school to college?
Yeah, I guess in high school I just kind of ate whatever. Like I didn't really care about what I was eating. Like as long as I made weight, like it didn't matter for me. Like as long as I felt decent, made weight, competed well, it was whatever. But and once I got into college, like obviously a stricter schedule and stricter workout schedule, like focused a lot more on like getting the right stuff in. Like we have a nutrition center where we can get some snacks and stuff like healthy snacks and you know healthy cereal, healthy bars, and everything like that. Like they definitely provide for us and help us like get the right foods in us. And then you know, a lot of times at the dorm it got tricky, like eating well, because we had like a
Yeah.
convenience store there, and it's like, okay, I could go there and get some candy, or I could go there and grab some vegetables or fruit, like it. But it's just decisions. But I definitely would say like change 100%, like full circle diet wise.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably pretty common for most people too.
Mm-hmm.
People eat like Pop Tarts in high school every meal. That's all it changes a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And then I guess there were. Oh, I wanted to ask like, what is it like drilling with Seth Gross, like on your feet or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, dude knows his positions. 100%. Like one thing that sets him apart from everybody else is probably his confidence in his wrestling ability. Like he knows when he hits a move that he's going to score on it, or he knows if he hits a move here, it's going to be a chain reaction to getting somebody in a split or something. Like he just knows his positions, and even like a lot of times, like at first when I started watching him wrestle, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like you're gonna get taken down here. You're gonna get reversed, and then he ends up like taking a guy down or putting him to their back. Like Jesus, like that dude knows wrestling. Like, but it's fun drilling with him, just feeling stuff out, and like getting my butt whooped. It's good for you.
He has such a wide arsenal of stuff. Like, does he
Mm-hmm.
drill just different moves every day, or does he just
Yeah.
have like his bread and butter?
Well, it would be probably weekly. He'd be like, "Let me try this new move on you." It's like,
Hmm.
okay, I'll let you try it on me. And just drill it a couple times, and we get to live. He hits it perfect. It's like,
Wow.
should be able to do that, but basically every week he's like, I got this new move I thought of, or I saw this move on Instagram one time and I hit it. It's like, oh, jeez.
That's insane. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And then I guess there were two questions from people on Instagram. The first one is from Meyer Rosen, and pretty much he said he started wrestling as he started wrestling pretty recently. He's like gonna be a sophomore in high school,
Okay.
and he was injured his freshman year. I guess like what should he be doing to just get as good as he can during the rest of high school to be able to wrestle in college?
Um, One, I mean, I guess I would say get your conditioning um, really, really good. You got to beat everybody on conditioning, especially if you're going to be lacking technique, so to say, or the feel aspect a little bit, and then get as strong as you can. Um, I would say like more functional patterns and like pull-ups, push-ups. Like don't worry about like doing a bunch of benching and curls. Like just get like wrestling strong. You can get some like lat pulls and stuff like that, but just like strong back and strong core. And then I guess the one example that I would use is Ben Peterson. I'm sure a lot of Wisconsin guys know him, and
Yeah,
but he started wrestling his freshman year of high school, and then went on to win Olympic gold and however many other medals. Like
yeah,
I don't think starting. I mean, I definitely know times have changed and people definitely like specialize sooner, but I don't think that starting your freshman year should be a setback for anybody to wrestle in college. Like you still got 4 years, 4 whole years to make changes and learn and adapt.
yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, I guess, and I would also say just like definitely use the freestyle and Greco season to
Mm-hmm.
get your
Absolutely.
technique better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then Tanner Gerber asked a question. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep. Two-time state champ.
I was teammates with his brother for a little bit. He's kind of
Okay.
big, but he said, "Did you decide you were gonna be the best, or did it just happen?"
Um, I'd say like I was definitely gifted with some like athleticism and that helped. And I'm just like competitive nature. But I definitely like set my mind and was like, yeah, I this wrestling thing, like I love this thing. I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. I'm gonna seek out help. I'm gonna push myself and set high goals and do everything I can to reach them.
Nice. Yeah. And then my final question for today is, who do you got, Dake or JB?
Oh, I got Dake all day. I watched that Flow Radio live. Oh, I
Oh
loved
yeah.
it. Dake ate him up. Dake's gonna win this time. I know it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think I probably got Dake as well. But yeah. I guess what did you think of his whole demeanor on that show?
You know what? I think it was smart. I think Dake did it in a tactical way. I think he did it on purpose and wasn't trying to. He didn't really care about his image when he's doing it. I mean, he knew the crowd that he had there, but he definitely you could see he was getting the Burrows and getting in his head, and making Burrows like chuckle, but it's that like awkward chuckle where it's like, yeah, you kind
That's
of have a
definitely
point.
awkward.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I think they got to him. And I think, it's not as we saw last year. And I'm not, obviously, it's a very, very, very high level of wrestling, but it wasn't the same bros we saw a couple years ago. And I think with Dake being, if he's healthy and, they're at 74, I think Dake's got him.
Awesome. I love it.
Yep.
Um, well, yeah, that's all I got for you today, man. It was fun
Awesome.
catching up and everything.
Yeah, you too.
So take it easy.
Yeah, you too.